Welcome into All Eyes on Cleveland on the Browns Film Breakdown Network. My goodness, it has been a hot minute, Casey.
Yes.
My name's Brad Ward. That's Big Case Dog. Casey Kinnamon at Case Noseball on Twitter or X. Where you at today?
I am in my office.
Okay.
But
Under construction?
no, man. Merry Christmas to everyone. You know, we haven't been here since before Christmas, but on Christmas, Santa brought me curtains for my room, and this is the curtains he brought me. So
that's awesome.
I have another area in this office that I can film. So
that's great. I love
taking advantage of the versatility now.
Yeah, good for you. So what's happening, brother? How was the holidays?
Madness.
Christmas and
New Year's.
New Year's.
Madness.
We didn't speak. We spoke, but
it's just super busy, man. And then my mom came down to visit and brought my nieces, and they stayed for several days. And then as soon as she left, my father-in-law was in. So we just had constant visitors and just and obviously work and such. But it was a ton of fun. But it's taxing, to be honest with you. When you're in the dad role during the holidays and you got visitors constantly. So I'm actually happy things are going back to normal and I'm able to get back into my normal flow.
You know what he's talking about? Remember Durday from Hard Knocks?
Not from Hard Knocks, no, but I have watched several videos on him and press conferences and stuff.
Gives me a leader of man, especially compared to Dan Pitcher. Really?
Well, I don't know if that needs to be the bar comparing him to Dan Pitcher in that realm, but yeah, no, he comes off as a leader of men to me as well.
Durday does.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
There's a couple guys in this
accent
cycle that qualifies for.
Even with the British accent?
I mean, does that throw you off?
Yeah. Throws me off.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but if you're in the room with them in the meeting rooms and stuff, I'm sure that goes away quickly as far as.
Yeah. We're being simulcast with the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, and I apologize for that. When I asked Brad if we could do this on Friday, because I did not want to go another week with missing the show, but part of Christmas is I also received concert tickets, and the concert was last night.
Yes.
So Brad's like, yeah, sure. But at the time when I asked, I had no idea this was a college football playoff game tonight.
There was a game on last night too, brother.
I know. Trust me, I've seen many a dads watching it on their phone over their shoulder.
Either way. Either way. We would have been during the game. This game has started off spicy, 7-7 already.
Yeah. To me, this is the national championship. Whoever wins this, I would.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, over Miami.
You don't think Miami can play with these teams?
Who didn't say that? I didn't say they couldn't play with them. I think that the winner comes from this game.
Interesting.
I think Vegas will agree with me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on Vegas agreeing with you. I don't think it'll be a big spread either way.
No, probably not.
Like 3, maybe?
Possible.
That's what my guess would be. If Oregon won, I would think it would be less.
Give it closer, for sure. And it depends on how this game plays out. If one team blows the other team out, they'll gain the confidence of the guys out west.
This game was a defensive battle the first time around.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Looks like we're off to a different start, which is how I bet it to be more offensive. So that's good.
The hallmark from the last game for me was watching it from the perspective of quarterbacks, right? And there is a point in that game where Mendoza throws just a horrendous pick six. I mean, you can't do it. Can't be late. Can't be the outside. All that. And then comes back, and this has been a hallmark of him that I've seen this year. When he throws a bad pick, it goes away. It doesn't affect him. He'll surgical. He just goes right back to work and regularly picks teams apart after that happens. So that was the first time I saw it, though, was the Oregon game.
Have you seen this guy on Twitter going around calling him a 4th round pick and he picks apart his game? No. It's so funny. He's like, you scored first on a Moore pick 6. I did not know that. But then Moore took him right down the field and scored right after that. So
resiliency,
both of them. I like both guys a lot. Mendoza, I think, is clearly the better one.
Yeah, I'm not as sold on Moore as most people are, but like I get it.
He's got he reminds me of like maybe it's the school. He reminds me of Jordan Love a little bit. Like I think he could be.
Yeah, I'm just curious because there's a lot of rumors that he's going to get a ton of money to go back. But the difference is, and maybe he feels better about it, I guess, is because next year there's going to be more of a log jam with the quarterback situation in the first round, whereas you're a clear top 5 pick, probably top 2 more than likely, right?
The question is, like, do you want to be the
exactly? That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why maybe he prefers that it'll be a better team that has a shot. If he, would you rather go 2 and have a tough 2 or 3 years trying to find your footing in the NFL, or be the 3rd or 4th quarterback taken and go to a team in a slightly better position?
Charlie Chuck, I'm with you, brother. I'm all in on Malik.
You're welcome on board. I've been trying to lead this train for years, man.
I'm all in on Malik.
In Philly. Shout out to Philly, my guy out there stumping for me. I don't even have to do it anymore.
I know. So
he's all over it.
So coaching carousel, Reese and Schwartz were already interviewed.
Yeah.
Today was Durday and Pitcher.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Dan Pitcher.
You don't like Dan Pitcher?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like. I don't prefer him. No, I don't.
Okay. Jake kind of likes him.
Yeah.
And then now we can add Jesse Minter to the list, which is a good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best name in my opinion.
First announcement that's intrigued me that I am. Yeah. Same here.
That's the best name you've added to the list so far. Now you expect them to interview Kubiak and whatnot? Touchdown, Indiana. Amari Cooper.
It's hard to say because like you requested Durday and already got it. Like why wouldn't you have done the same at the same time?
I guess.
Now here's the thing about Kubiak, and here's the thing about these a lot of these interviews are for coordinators under the guise of being for a head coach.
Understood.
And we've seen them do this before.
Information gathering.
Yeah.
It's a data point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you check boxes along the way. And it sets you up that, you might have a coordinator in place. Then when you do hire your head coach, if there's alliances, so you look at some of the guys they hired and you look at different angles of people they're associated with, affiliated with in their past that could be a better candidate for head coach that if they were to land it. Yeah, man, I like Kubiak's system, but when I listen to his pressers, I don't get the leader of men sense. But obviously he's a master of his craft and calling plays.
He's very dry, right?
Yeah. And we just got out of a boring relationship, man. I'm trying to spice it up. You know what I mean?
Watched the time on Minter today. Yeah, Minter is an impressive guy, 100%.
Which I recommend that. When you hear that they're going to interview someone, start watching press conferences. How do they conduct themselves? Do they command a room? Because that's for me, that has to be a key. You got to be able to command a room.
So I just learned this today, and I did not know this, but I will be able to do a kind of a deep dive on him, deeper than you would expect, because when my brother was graduate assistant at Marshall, Minter's dad, Jesse Minter's dad, was the DC there at Marshall, and Jesse was around a lot, and my brother, apparently, my dad just told me this tonight, but my brother has spent extensive one-on-one time with him.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at that.
So
look at that.
I'm gonna have to reach out and find out what he has to say about him, so he'll know him
Yeah.
The behind the
first-hand experience, man.
Little behind the scenes action there. So I will find out about that, but from everything I know about him, he's extremely impressive. My philosophy on head coaches inside of the ball. I have a preference.
Yeah, you want an offensive guy
because you don't want to be where Detroit is or where Tampa Bay is,
or even Philly.
Philly.
They keep cycling through OCs.
An OC every other year.
Yeah. Well, they've actually done a different OC every year, and one gets fired, and then they'll get a good one, and then he becomes a head coach, and they have to do it all over again. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Cassidy, we were just mentioning this out here. So David Blau, and I was like, where do I know that name from?
No, it's because you said it wrong. It's Cleveland Browns legend, David Blau.
David Blau, yeah. And then Case was like, don't you remember? And I'm like, oh, my God. So he went to Purdue, right?
Yeah, 2019. He was a 2019 practice squatter.
He went to Purdue.
Yeah. Doors flipped.
Doors flipped him. 2019. And in 5 years, because I think he played another year.
Yeah, he actually started a game for Detroit at some point. I remember he got on the field towards the end of the.
That's what I'm saying. He's only coached for one season.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It said I did read somewhere he'd been in the mud with Daniels for 2 years. So I don't know if maybe he was just a generic assistant, because that happens. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what your title is, just assistant.
Yeah. Yeah, man. How did we let him get away? So true, Pat.
Had him in the building.
Yeah, that's so true. Who would have thunk it? This guy. I mean, and it is what it is. I mean, Quinn strikes me as a guy that's going to hire from within. He's a culture truther.
I thought he was going to lose his job when Harbaugh got fired. I was like, I can see Washington being like, well, then make all the run at Harbaugh, since he already lives in the area and everything.
Yeah, it was possible. That's what a bunch of people were guessing for that 7th team initially.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, it's got to be Miami. And I nailed it. It was on the air too. So, with Peter. But yeah. Could Tommy Reese be the next? They had him in the boat. I mean, potentially. Yeah. But I'm not there yet. I can't.
And I can't live in my fears right now. Like, if there's a better coach on the board that's a pot that we know for a fact is ready to step in and lead, I'm not going to be like, well, this guy could have been.
I'm not even in my fear. Like, a lot, I see all these people like, oh no, Stefanski, don't go to the Ravens. Please go to the Ravens.
Thank you.
Please go to the Ravens. I want to face him twice a year. Please.
Are we going to act like all of a sudden like he knows how to call plays for a mobile quarterback? When did that happen?
We witnessed the entire the collapse. That was the collapse. His inability to coach a guy like that.
It's not even beyond. Okay, so like DTR is not a good quarterback, but what could he do well? Run. What did they didn't do any of that. They just ran the regular ass offense with a super mobile guy. Like,
yep.
Like, dial it up, man. You got a mobile guy.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. I want him. I want it.
Yeah.
Bring it. Come on, Stefanski.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Kevin's a good dude, and he took the high road all the time. I'm not going to try to like make him into some villain, but like it was time, obviously. Yeah, I know a lot of people were, like I said, living in their fears about it, but like, and then the other teams like who's rumored was the Giants. It's the same thing. Jackson Dart's a mobile quarterback. He does most of the damage with his legs, and it opens the rest of his game up. You know, he also does the most damage to himself with his legs.
But he's more.
It's a major factor of his game at this stage in his career.
Sure,
Kevin's not going to know what to do with that. So
it's all very interesting. All right, so we're going to get to more of that in a second. Some good questions about Reese and Schwartz that we've kind of talked about, but it's worth hitting on. So they've already interviewed. Do you think that's like, there's two scenarios I heard presented. Like, do you think that, because Jimmy Haslam apparently loves Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell.
Yeah. And So, like, is it possible that, like, Jimmy has this job earmarked for Schwartz, and he's told Barry he could run a coaching search to try to unseat him, but other than that, it's going to be Schwartz?
I mean, that's definitely possible. Yeah, that's definitely.
I hope not.
It even sounds kind of plausible. Well, I just think you're missing a massive opportunity to make a major
Real
advancement.
change.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is how you affect change, man. And you have an opportunity here. You know, you got to be smart. And this is Barry's one swing. It's not like he's going to get to hire a second head coach here. He has to know that.
Well,
no. This coach would have to be massively successful and run
likely.
Yeah. If this doesn't work, if the coach doesn't work, he's not getting a second swing at that.
Yeah, listen. If they hired, how would you feel if they hired Schwartz as the head coach?
I feel like they missed a massive opportunity. No, I do think they'll play hard for Schwartz, but I think he's the guy that's going to take you all the way to where you want to ultimately be? I do not. You know, and like I get that the defense likes him and stuff, but we see what we see, man. You know, the lack of in-game adjustments tells me like everything I need to know about being able to be adaptable. He's not an adaptable coach. He does what he does, and he'll challenge you to beat him if you can beat him doing what he does. You know, I don't want a guy with his foot in the sand saying this is the only way we can play.
Exactly.
That's you put a ceiling on yourself.
You do. I can't get behind it. Like, I would if it came down to it. Like, okay, let's figure it out. But if you try to sell me, especially if you try to sell me Schwartz and Reese, like, no way. So you're telling me that the entire problem was Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah. How big of an indictment would that be?
What are we talking about here? And then, so, okay, that's fine. Great question, Brian. Thanks for tuning in, buddy, and everybody for tuning in tonight. Sorry for the weird schedule tonight. I figured we'd be a little bit later in the chat tonight because of the off day. I got question in the chat about it today, but I tried to get something out there on social media. I got a Harbaugh question: 18 seasons, 2 quarterbacks, Flacco, Lamar. If the Browns get him, how do you think he would fare? So, solving and finding a QB. I think that he'll have a preference. Like, I mean, how do you? The better question, I think, Brian, is how do you approach him?
That's what, dude. Thank you, because to me, when he shows up for the interview, he's interviewing you,
right?
He's interviewing Barry. Like, hey, what are we doing about quarterback, Bob? Like,
yeah.
You're not. That's one. One where it's not going the other way.
Well, coach, what would you like to do? Because we'll make it happen, right?
Yeah. Red carpet.
You
roll that shit.
You want Dante Moore? You want Mendoza? We'll try our very best. We have the assets to try to get up there. It's going to cost a lot. You want Malik Willis, Kyler Murray? What do you want? You want Shador? Probably not.
Well, keep in mind, Baltimore's the team that tried to draft him.
They liked him.
Keep that in mind. I don't know if that was him or Munkin or, who knows where that came through their chain, but that did happen.
But also keep in mind that with that, the whole, so you saw Grossi's report on like what he would want, right?
20 mil, 10 for assistants,
20 mil, 10
pick his own GM.
Pick his own GM.
Yeah.
20 mil makes sense. 10 for assistants, fine. The best thing about this situation is we can throw as much money.
Yeah,
at
Jimmy pockets.
Like, you could throw they should offer him the Gruden deal.
10, but 100 for 10.
But I would make it more even. I would be like 10 for 15, because he was making 16 a year in Baltimore, so you at least got to do that.
Well, we got to be reasonable. He's 63, right?
Yeah.
I didn't make that number up. I'd heard it. I didn't know if it was.
But he doesn't look 63.
No, but 10's to a 63-year-old. 10 is putting you up in Belichick status at the end of that 10. You're, all of a sudden you're Pete Carroll.
Well, Pete Carroll was a damn good coach up until the 70s.
Yeah, no. I just 10 might be a little further than I would want to go. But if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. And then if you have to pay him those last 3 years for nothing, you pay him that last 3 years for nothing.
Yeah, this is kind of the question. So I wrote an article this morning. Did you read my article on the power dynamic?
No, sir. I was working all day. You want to cliff note me?
Sure. I've gotten a lot more pushback than I thought on it.
Really?
Yeah. I thought people would be like, yeah, that's right. But I have gotten quite a bit of pushback.
Basically, create conversation.
Yeah. Basically, fundamental question Browns need to ask themselves is about the power dynamic in the existing organizational structure, because it's going to be raised by coaches, all coaches. And I referenced Fowler talking about, used a quote from where he notes, in the current coaching cycle, candidates at the top of the market are increasingly selective about organizational structure, not the roster talent. The question they ask first is no longer who's the quarterback, but who runs the building. For years, it felt like Cleveland had operated under a structure that places the front office, this is my opinion, specifically Andrew Berry and the analytics-heavy framework installed during the DePodesta era, firmly above the head coach. Stefanski was hired into that reality, succeeded early, but eventually had to move away from his comfort zone and his staff in an attempt to make Deshaun work. That context around those decisions matter as the Browns define where the power lies moving forward, because it threw them off completely, right?
Yeah.
The most attracting coaching candidates won't approach Cleveland as a blank slate. They'll arrive informed, league-wide. Adam Schefter has emphasized how much autonomy has become a differentiator for coaching searches. Teams that can offer clarity, not just alignment, but authority, tend to separate themselves quickly. Coaches talk, agents compare notes, structures are vetted long before interviews begin. So they know what they're walking into, right? Yeah. So the problem with the Brown structure is, while it may offer some stability, it offers very little autonomy. Personnel control remains centralized. Analytics influence weekly decision-making. Coaching staff often reflect organizational preferences rather than coaches' full network. That model can work, but only for a certain kind of coach.
Yeah.
If you want one of these major coaches, you're going to have to let him, and I'm not saying make personnel decisions. Now, I would do that for some guys. Would I let Harbaugh make personnel decisions? Maybe. Like, meet me halfway. I think the Browns is interesting because Sashi and him are still apparently have a good relationship despite their parting of ways. Sashi and Andrew Berry are very close.
Yeah.
So could he work with Andrew Berry? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something they need to figure out. But like, would I want him to have a big say in the roster? Yes. Final control of the roster? No. Unless it's a deal breaker. I don't trust Grossey's report completely. I think it's a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know something because I agree with your assessment. What was the specific pushbacks you were getting on that? So I can kind of look at it through that angle to see.
That people were fine with the structure how it is, and I'm like,
you're going to end up with Puppet as a head coach, man.
That's that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that you need to have a head coach that
we
commands, like, he gets to pick it. I'm not asking for anything extra for him. I'm asking him for him to be able to do head coach appropriate things. Hire his staff, full game plan control.
Yeah,
not having to run it.
Final say over year 53. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm cool with that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Like, I don't have to run this past DePodesta anymore, right? Like, and I think that Depot being gone kind of allows you to reshape this.
Yeah.
So,
and it was pretty interesting that they're not hiring someone for that position. Like,
right.
The shadowy position that we weren't even completely sure, but they're not putting someone else in there. So it does opens up lanes that weren't available before.
So the guy that comes in, I just want them to be flexible. You need to be able to tell them, here's what you will have a say over, or what do you envision? Yes, we can offer you that, or no, we can't, is all I'm really saying. I'm not like stumping for total control given to the coach. I'm just saying on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, I wouldn't want him drafting players either, Matt.
No, but he has a case. He needs to be able to lay it out and be like, this is the guy and this is why.
Yeah, I like this guy. Here's why I like him. Here's why he fits what we do. I think he should have a say, not final draft approval or anything like that.
I agree.
But that's something that I think that, like, if he came in and said, can't work with Andrew Berry, he's out, I got to have my own guy in here. Would you do it?
Who's the guy?
Harbaugh.
No. Who's his guy that he's saying? And for the conversation, that's where my mind goes immediately. My mind doesn't go to yes or no. It's like, okay, pitch. Who's your guy? What's the like? I need to know the total vision before I just kick Andrew Berry to the curb. But like, if you'd have fired Andrew Berry at the end of the season, I wasn't going to cry about it. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not that married to it, but Jimmy obviously is. So what's your case? If you're Harbaugh,
that's my question. Do you feel like, here's my fear with Andrew, and I was the one that supported Andrew staying because he provides the buffer between the Haslams, because I think he is in a unique position to have gone through the last 6 years with Andrew or with Kevin and seen what works in Cleveland. He saw aspects of Kevin that worked, and he saw aspects of him that did not work. And I think he is uniquely in a position to hire a guy that can check those boxes. He's lived it.
Yeah. And this is he's kind of, I mean, we don't know exactly what DePodesta did, but we know he's not going to interfere with this no matter what. So this is Andrew's, like, you put your fingerprint on this. This is your fingerprints by itself, which also means now you're on the clock. Like,
well, that's the problem, is I don't want a lame duck GM though.
No, hell no. But I'm saying that's
the concern, right?
Yeah. Well, dude, this has to turn around. It has to turn around pretty quick. This can't be 3 years from now. You know what I mean? Before we expect to be a winner.
I'm fine with the head coach being a play caller. Totally fine with me. Either side of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't need a CEO head coach, but if it's Harbaugh, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm open. I'm open. Dude, after what we just went through, like, I'm open to anything. Like, what do you got? You got to sell me on it.
Coaches should say what positions are priority and what measurable skills are required as those positions, and his GM scouts are finding candidates. Yeah. Yeah, your positional value needs to change based on what scheme your coach is running and what they value and what positions they believe are vital for success. GMs should have final say. Head coach should have final say. Where right now do head coaches have final say over the roster? And draft picks and stuff? Kansas City, right? Yeah. I don't think Veach is telling Reed no on anything. Or does he? I have no idea. I'm pretty sure he does. He did before, even when it was Doris. Yeah. That's how they got Mahomes. Yeah. Okay. So, Reed, where else? There's a couple, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the other Harbaugh has that power. I think the other Harbaugh has full control. I would say that was probably a contingent of getting him. In Denver. And then Shanahan doesn't in San Fran. No. But he and neither does McVay. And neither does McVay. But they have their guys in place. Like
for sure. Yeah. No, it's symbiotic. It's.
What about? I don't even think Peyton does.
I don't know.
He might.
Does? He might. I mean, he's very Parcells-like, brother, in the way he handles shit, and that was his mentor, and he's the man who came up with if I'm going to cook the meal, you should at least let me shop for the groceries line.
Coaches overriding scouts that watch players all year long. Recipe to failure. See Steph with David Bell, Gabriel Schwartz, Crappy Bold. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It needs to. It's always going to be collaborative, right? Yeah,
but how do we know he overrode those? Like, were the scout? Do we know the scouts were banging the table for someone else in that moment?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But we just attribute those things, but I mean, it was Schwartz who wanted Ika.
Yeah.
And not even the head coach.
God knows reason. Even though every scout we brought on the show said no, stay away, stay away.
But somehow Tommy Togia is balling.
Touchdown last week, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the kicker, right? All right. Well, let's come to this. Of the guys interviewed right now, who would you pick?
Of the guys interviewed, that's tough, right?
Yeah. I would pick Mentor right now.
Well, he hasn't been. They just requested. They haven't actually interviewed him yet, have they?
You know what I mean. We're not.
Yeah, no. I'm with you. I wasn't putting him in because he hasn't been interviewed
on
yet.
The list.
Yes. Then yes, sir. That's my guy. Then.
Yeah.
All right. Other guys interviewed so
far. Now, of the guys, real do you think it's realistic that they could land Harbaugh?
It's in the realm of possibilities for sure.
How much do you think the family thing, the local thing, plays into this?
Some, but no, people could take that too much, and it's the same thing with players who he's from here though. To me, that's the last thing I'm worried about. The tape's what I'm worried about. But for him, he's got to worry about his, he's got to worry about his family. He's got to worry about legacy, and that his best interest, and that might not be in Cleveland, and people need to come to grips with that. It just might not be, but. And it's in situations like we talk about him going into the office and he's interviewing the GM and the owner, and you might have to get real with him. You're going to be asking questions you might not be comfortable with. He might want to know what the hell really went on with Watson, so he knows what kind of pitfalls he's walking into.
Yeah,
because we know the things that have been shoveled to us, but we're not going to know what really went down. The pie chart of who was really the driving force behind the whole thing. We can all have our theories, but we'll never know concrete wise, what really went down. Well, he might want to know those answers before he steps into this, and he'd have every right to.
Is it 21-7, Pat? I think it is. 21-7, Indiana. Thought it might go this way. Another turnover, though, on Dante. Oh, he just lost it. Oh, he just went to throw a little bubble and just lost control of the ball. Went straight up in the air. A fumble. Unforced. 21-7 IU. Go Hoosiers, baby. Yeah, so... I don't rule the money they can give him. The problem is the quarterback. That's the biggest problem is you don't have an offer there but you don't know what he's looking for. It's really about fit, conversation, Barry. The thing that I can say for Barry is that I think that he will impress any coach he sits down and interviews with. I think he's an impressive and smart enough guy to do it. But I'll go back to this. The shift in power in this organization needs to change.
Yeah.
At least appropriately, because I feel like Kevin was dictated to. Unless they just want another puppet. so they can maintain
God, that makes me
control.
sick to think about.
Right?
Yeah,
but like think about them going way off the
No,
radar for a guy who can't command that power and just wants a head coaching gig.
Then what the fuck was the point of firing Kevin?
But that feels more like something they would have done with DePodesta.
Hopefully, we'll get to find out because we'll see how they operate and we'll be able to judge accordingly. But that definitely was something that was happening.
And I think winning and the way that Jimmy spoke and the way that he spoke, I think like the time is up to a point that results need to come now. Would you agree? Like, I don't think he can fuck around and say...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this can't be some long, like, here's my 4-year plan to get relevant. Like, the relevancy has to happen.
Thanks for
that doesn't say, I'm not saying they have to have double-digit wins next season, but, like, has to be a tangible difference in that win-loss ledger. And you have a weak schedule coming up. You have to take advantage of that, man. You have to take advantage of that. And if you can't, then what are we doing, man? Because we every year after year, doesn't matter if we finish in last place in our division, we still get racked with like a top 5 hardest schedule. You know, this went the other way. Now that doesn't mean anything after you get 4 or 5 games in because the teams aren't going to be who they were last year. But as we sit here today, this isn't the gauntlet that it was we were sitting here a year ago looking at.
Great question from Aaron. I didn't think about Tomlin. He probably does have full say.
Yeah. I've always gotten drugged for this, but I'm a massive Tomlin guy because he's a leader of men, and that's
okay. Do you put him above Harbaugh?
No, but it's not far behind. It's not like they're in the same bucket. They are in the same tier. I would prefer Harbaugh over Tomlin, but
same. I would too. Here's the dream, though. The dream. Let me present you the dream. I already presented it to you. I saw your reaction. The dream is, and I don't know why this is even on the table, but it sounds like LaFleur's on the hot seat.
I know. Let's go.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. I don't look. Okay. Browns fans, if you're out there listening, they were old enough to remember we did this with Marty. Guy comes in, wins 12 games like clockwork a year, and just because they are, in the playoffs have been a little bit of a rough spot, they just give up on it and then go to the next thing. I don't know, man. If you want to go that route, go that route.
All right, tomorrow night they play the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I am rooting my ass off for the Bears to smoke them so bad he gets fired and you go bye Shador, sign Malik, hire LaFleur.
When did this turn into a sex talk? When did we start talking dirty over here, dude? This is
hire LaFleur.
Let's go.
Sign Malik. Problem solved. We can start counting down to the playoffs in 2026 right now.
Yeah, man.
What if you can? Maybe, but like I'm just saying, we can afford Willis. We can afford whatever we want.
You want to talk about the bet while we're talking about the money in Willis? Because we have a bet.
Oh yeah, well we have a bet on this, and I think you've already lost because I've already seen reports that have him way over this number.
Okay.
So you already lost the bet.
Okay,
but this was a week ago. A week ago.
Yeah, they lost the game that we were even talking about. By the way. Yeah.
Not because of him.
No, not at all. But I'm just saying it's just funny that the price of the brick somehow goes up.
Not a spam bet. No, this
actually benefits the chat and doesn't just hurt one of us.
So whoever loses this bet, and then there's a push too, and we'll explain that. But so it's the here it comes the weigh in. All right, so How much will he command on the open market?
Mm-hmm.
Was the conversation.
Yeah.
I said he's easily going to clear 25.
Well, you said the word 30, and I said I think it'll be closer to 20. So that's where we made the dividing line was 25.
The dividing line is 25. I think he will get close to 30. I think he'll get something around 50 to 60 for 2 years.
Yeah, and I agree that it will be a short deal too, because if I'm his agent, I'm trying to cash in.
It actually will probably be the $100 million deal, which will clear my number. But then the guaranteed money will probably give him like a year and a little bit more of guaranteed money, so they have an out, right? But he'll cash in. He's gonna make more, around 30, in my opinion, APY. I would not be surprised if it's the $100 million deal that Baker got and everybody else got, right? Where you get 30.
He has 156 pass attempts, man. It's hard for me to see him get that. But
teams are so.
But he plays quarterback
thirsty,
in a year where the draft is dry at that position, so that definitely helps his chances.
There's nothing in the draft after the first two. He's proved, like, in the games that he's played, in those 156 attempts, he's been excellent.
He's been excellent since he's been in Green Bay, period, dude. He's
been excellent every time he's been called on.
Yeah, in Green Bay. I don't count that. I'm not counting anything that happened in Tennessee.
That's what I said, Charlie. 3 years, $100 million. So the bet is 25 is a push. So
yeah. If it hits 25 on the nose APY, we both buy shirts for the chat, and then we do a draw.
We will randomly choose whoever's in the chat that night to make sure you're there. We'll announce it ahead of time. Bet once the number comes out, to be in the chat that night, because if you're here tonight, I'll even give you double the chance. If you're here tonight and I see you there that night, I'll name you as one of the people that gets a shirt. So,
that's fair.
Yeah, so 25 million even. You buy somebody a shirt, I buy somebody a shirt in the chat. If it's over 25, you have to buy somebody a shirt in the chat.
Yep.
Your person of choice. Maybe we'll put all the names on one of those spinny things that you hit on the internet, and they.
There we go. Yeah.
Picks a winner. Yeah, and then under, I will buy someone a shirt. A Browns film.
Either way, you guys win.
Either way, you guys win. But yeah, I mean, I think you're crazy to think that he's going to get anything less than that. And if I were the Browns, I would give him it, because you have no other answer.
Yeah.
You're out of draft range. You use all the other assets to get better. Listen, people that are worried about the money, they're going to, according to the capologist Jack Duffin, they will free up about $70 million in cap space. If they want to, they can go that high. They can spend that much. And that's not even, I mean, you can structure it so you don't even get hit by it until the second year.
Oh,
you could structure his contract in a way that you could structure his contract in a way that it hits when Deshaun's gone. They can pay.
Yeah.
They can pay. Yes, they will build an O-line around him. How do we build an O-line around him?
You attack it in the draft. That's the first step.
You attack it in the draft and free agency as well. Yep. I heard Zigger talking about this today. The Browns wanted Malik Willis in the draft originally. So we know Barry likes him. Was that was Barry. Was that Barry?
But if I'm Malik and I'm only going to sign a 2 to 3 year deal, I take situation into context. I'm not just going after the money, because my next contract's for the money.
This contract's for the money too.
I'm just saying, if he's only signing a 2 year deal, 3 year deal, you want to actually show your wares because he's had limited opportunities with Green Bay, but he has shined to get this opportunity. But his next payday is going to be the biggest payday. If this next contract works out, he'll be able to max out, be basically like an NBA max structure.
Pat Shane nailed it right there. That's basically what they would do. That's what they do with everybody. They'll be on like a minimum salary, but they'll get like $38 million signing bonus, which then gets pushed out over 5 void years, and they won't ever have to. They'll keep restructuring him as long as he's on the team, and so they hope that he's good. But if they believe in him, you know what I mean. But this is the outcome I would prefer over more experimentation with Shedhead or anybody. You know.
In that scenario, what do you think the rest of the quarterback room looks like? Without saying the other guy's name who we know is going to be on the roster because of money.
Well, it'll be Shedeur. No. Shedeur's gone. You're trading him. You can't have him as a backup. He's gone. So it'll be Malik Willis, Deshaun Watson, and Dylan Gabriel. I have no problem with that room.
Okay, but in that scenario also, so Watson's your game day inactive?
We'd have to revisit that.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're going away...
I never want to see him again on the field, but I don't know that's the way it's going to play out. I just know what I prefer.
I would prefer not to see him on the field either. But if you're bringing in Willis, you're making him your guy,
mm-hmm.
I feel more comfortable putting him in as the backup than I would to him like backing up Shedeur, where he could look awful every week. And people are like, "Oh man, we really got to see Deshaun now," which is my worst nightmare, right? So
I just threw up in my mouth a little,
right? But you feel what I'm saying, though. Like if Malik is brought in and given that kind of money, he's the guy. And then you paint the picture that I've been saying all along about Watson. You play the veteran backup,
mm-hmm.
the good soldier. If you want to make noise about this, we're going to expose it and you blow all your opportunity to ever get a backup job in the future. If you want to be the good soldier, play the backup, be the supportive backup guy, that's fine. That's it. Shedeur is traded. I would trade him. I do not believe that you can function. You probably could with someone like Malik, but like I don't think the noise and nonsense is necessary if you're gonna make that kind of an acquisition. So I would say, let's trade him off for whatever we can get for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Invest it elsewhere. And if you even want to bring in another quarterback to cushion yourself further from Watson, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But like the Sanders noise as a backup, it's just too much. It's too much nonsense.
It is, but it's only a factor if the starter sucks. If Willis comes in and balls, that noise goes away pretty easy because they don't have a case at that point.
I guess. Have you seen the reality that they twist?
Yeah, but
they twist all reality to fit
Dylan
their
Gabriel
propaganda.
Gabriel's falling on his face. We don't really have But if
the
guy balls, then it's like chatter. Okay. It becomes background noise as opposed to an actual fucking story.
Have you seen all the people touting that Shedeur has firmly earned his job?
Dude, that's my biggest beef is people like, if you want to look, as the room sits here today, and you tell me he's going to compete for the starting job, I'm okay. If you tell me he's the unquestioned starter, we can't talk football no more.
Right.
Like you have to bring in
people doing that minimum.
Right? That's the minimum thing you can do. You can go ahead and get a guy who is the unquestioned starter, and you're not going to hear a word out of me about it. But you cannot operate with him as the unquestioned starter. That's a non-starter. Good luck getting a coach if that's your plan. If that's what you tell prospective coaches coming in.
Correct. Like he can earn it, whatever. But like the thing about it is that's my point though. Is like regardless how good any player is playing in front of him, they will distort reality like they have to make him look like he has earned the starting job in 26, despite having the all-time worst EPA in like NFL history. Like, it's crazy. It's just you can't exist in the world with people that they do not look at things in reality.
No, but it also like deprive them of oxygen. Like I said, it just becomes background noise to me. I know a lot of people can't operate like that, and definitely the 4-letter major network won't do the same. They'll put it on blast, but
yeah,
that's all background noise to me.
I guess
keep the main thing. If the starter balls, I don't give a shit. But I'm with you. I'd rather not have to deal with it. I would rather not have to deal with any of it. But
yeah, don't want to deal.
We're not dealing from a point of power until we have that guy on the team.
Dante is struggling mightily. Another
turnover. I don't know who said it. Someone, hold on.
Playing like a jet already.
Yeah. You're winning the chat, my man, for that one.
That was a great one. It was there it is, Brian Cassidy.
Yeah.
Playing like a jet already. In the red zone again. This is looking great for my bets. So
what you got? What are we doing? It's like a drum roll.
Real quickly. It's already at 9:00. All right. Let me take a look. I can tell you what I bet on this one. All right. We've got some voids in the NFL tonight. Peyton Pritchard has 3 threes. All right. What is with all the voids? Anyways, I took... Oh, they may not... Well, I took Indiana to have over 400 total offensive yards. I don't know where they are with that. I would guess... It
doesn't help it. Oregon keeps turning it over in their own end. That didn't help.
I would best guess by my cash out that it's not quite where it needs to be at this point. And then I had Indiana third quarter spread and full game spread. Huh. On the other, I took one on each site because they gave you the boost for this. So, and that's the kind of degenerate I am. So,
I expect nothing less.
Yeah. What did I take over here? I took Indiana over team points, which they've already done.
Nice.
Over 220 receiving yards and -3. Interesting.
The chat is saying Indiana has 156 total yards.
It's not bad. They can get there.
No, but will they have to if they get up? What do they have now? Like they might.
I mean, I don't think Signetti isn't gonna.
No, dude. That dude's
pedal,
becoming a national treasure pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah.
Very, very memeable face that guy keeps on the sideline.
Yeah, man. He loves it.
Google me, like that guy.
Google me.
Signetti.
All right. So, before we get out of here, any other thoughts on the coaching search?
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what other names they interview. You know, we have to wait till we see some teams play and some teams lose. You know, I'm obviously, man, like and I know they're not going to hire him because he's too young, but like I am interested to see the trajectory of Grant Udinski. I couldn't be higher on a guy. I know he's 29, but like we talk about guys rising up through the coaching ranks. That dude was a grad assistant for 1 year in Baylor. Rule took him with him to Carolina for 2 years. We talked about guys who were just like listed as an assistant. He was that for 2 years. and then he was 3 years in Minnesota, assistant / special projects. I don't know what that is, but he must have impressed enough because the next year he's assistant quarterbacks coach. The next year he's assistant offensive coordinator, and now he's offensive coordinator. Dude is 29 with a rocket strapped to his back. You know what I mean? In a league where people have been chasing the next McVay for 15 years, that's the dude. I'm telling you right now. And you got to be early. You can't be late. It'll be too late. You know, whoever brings him in, that's the move.
It's the only way the Browns can get him is if they're early.
Do it. Yeah, dude, if you tell me that, I got zero. If you can't get Harbaugh, let's get young, let's get innovative, and let's be good for the next 15 years, brother.
Because you hit on it, you hit gold.
Dude. But I'm interested to see who they bring in. You know, I would just love to at least see he's going to get interviews and he's going to be a head coach. The question is when.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody out there, just YouTube him, dude.
Yeah.
He's going to be an excellent head coach. His team's not going to be unprepared. I promise you that.
No, he's the truth. He's the truth.
For sure.
And it's just a matter of when somebody gives him an opportunity. And at 29, it's
McVay
hard.
was 32, and he was the youngest for like 6 years.
But if David Blau can get an OC job in 2 years, I can give this guy my head coaching job right now.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's do it. I would like to. I mean, I would be floored if they just even get him on the list. I'll be very excited. They should get him on the list. That's insane if they don't.
Andrew Berry, just YouTube him. You got to get in the room with this guy and find out what he knows and how he's gotten where he's gotten already.
Do the job. Do the job. Bring in the guys that we want to see. Brandon. Enough of this pitcher and Dirty and come on, get the ballers in there.
Yeah, let's get sexy. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get spicy. That's what I want to see. Turn it up. And that starts tomorrow night with the Dream. Go Bears.
I was talking about it before I left work, man. I was like, someone asked me who I thought would win. I was like, I can see Green Bay winning, but I can't root for it because of what I want to have happen.
Billy, you missed it. I was talking about the dream scenario of the LaFleur losing tomorrow and the Browns paying your boy Malik and hiring LaFleur. And
Philly, Brad's talking dirty.
We'll see you in the playoffs. And
getting filthy over here.
26 next year.
Porn.
With that cupcake schedule?
Porn.
Malik, I believe I'm with you. I'm on board.
There's room for more. We got room for more.
I'm on board. I think that is the best outcome at quarterback for the Browns.
Yeah. Yes.
Love the kid. Got a heart of a champion. You can tell.
Come on in. The water is fine.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you so much. It's been a long layoff, but we'll be back Thursday nights. Lock it into your schedule. All eyes on Cleveland. Casey Kinnamon. My name's Brad Ward. Keep it locked at Browns Film Breakdown. Get over there. Hit like, hit subscribe. Tell a friend. It's coaching. It's coaching carousel season, and we're talking dirty. For Casey, I'm Brad. We are out.